Hello again, viewers. What I've done is this. My car is already very light, which is ideal for off-roading, so I've put some bigger wheels on it. That's good for ground clearance and grip. That's it. Clearly, Jeremy had done rather more than that.
Let me talk you through what I've done. There's a fair bit. Got a winch here mounted on a steel platform, and I have armour-plated steel running from the front to the back on the undersides. Headlamps, they're now from a motorcycle. I needed the space ordinarily taken up by the lights for the snorkels, which I fitted so the car can now wade through about 6 feet of water. Moving further back, big trunky tyres, but the wheels are actually smaller. Now, that meant the original brakes wouldn't fit. Had to remove those, replace them with the brakes from a Golf GTI. Then I moved the brake and fuel lines inboard to give them extra protection and removed the air suspension, replaced it, in fact, with long travel shocks and steel coils.
You did all that in 2 days?
Well, it was that workshop. I don't know. It was just so well equipped.
Well, it was well equipped.
So I was able to do, I think, a pretty thorough job.
I am genuinely impressed.
Tell you what.
What?
This is what life is like outside the EU. We were in the EU on Réunion, smooth roads, people
Yes.
in BMWs. Would you like a glass of Chablis? Here,
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
would you like some food poisoning?
As we discussed post-Brexit life, our colleague arrived.
Hey.
Ha-ha!
Yeah, the flag and...
And a number of other changes. OK, talk you through it. I've painted it black, skull and crossbones. There is a flag, yes. Full external roll cage. And if this isn't strong enough, I've replaced the front and rear crumple zones with girders. I've raised the suspension by 19 inches to give it 23.5 inches ground clearance.
Yeah.
And then, if you look closely here, the corners...
Oh, yes.
You know what he's done?
It's genius is what I've done. Look at it.
He's uninvented the wheel.
You have. You put triangles on.
Having sorted all that out, we got back to the main problem, the code.
I'm presuming, May, because you haven't done very much with your car, you've devoted quite a lot of time to working out where in Madagascar this treasure is, it's not existent treasure, is buried.
Indeed.
Yes? And where is it?
No idea.
You still don't know?
Not a clue. There's still two-headed dogs and lemons and parrots and things.
You do know they actually arrested Labous on Madagascar in an area called Libertalia, which was like a pirate commune where they lived and they had rules of society and everything. So it stands to reason that's probably where he buried his treasure when they arrested him, didn't
Have you known that since you were 10 as well?
he? Yeah, I have.
Is there anything else you've known since you were 10 which would be relevant to us now that you ought to tell us?
That's it.
So, this Libertalia,
Yeah,
where is it?
north of here,
How far north of here?
100 miles.
You actually know where it is?
Yeah, north of here.
100 miles north of here.
But you didn't say that 3 days ago.
Again, you have to take your time with a thought, make sure it's ready, turn it around, look at it.
Yeah.
Don't want to make a fool of myself, rush in.
And so, armed with Captain Jack Hammond's new information, we set off.
Oh, I've taken one of the finest performance cars of its time, a scalpel, and turned it into a chainsaw.
War, Jim lad. I just don't get pirates. You tell Tom Hanks that pirates are romantic and interesting. They're not, they're just floating burglars. Got a light here telling me that there's a fault with my air suspension. I know, I've removed it.
But why had I removed it? Because contrary to what James had said, the roads were fine.
Yeah, not sure I needed to raise my car much for this very smooth tarmac.
James,
Yes, what's your point?
Because of you, I prepared my car for Armageddon and you brought me to a tea party.
All right, look at this. Big test for the Bentley. There it is. Jeez, I feel like Ranulph Fiennes here.
Look at me! Look at what I've done! Just because he befriended some girl in a floaty skirt, I've ruined my hot hatch.
We should have known that a friend of James's wasn't going to be an explorer.
The worst thing that happened is a daffodil fell out of her bicycle basket and she panicked. Oh, this is terribly rough. It's absolutely awful. As we headed out into the countryside, we hoped the roads would get worse. But no. Hello. Bonjour. They're all looking at me and think, what is he, mad? Look at that lovely road. What were we thinking? We took off-roading advice from Jane Austen.
Oh, James, I went to Madagascar, and the roads were nothing like they are in Devon.
Bonjour. Please stop building roads. No more road surface.
Oh, God. We've completely overdone our cars. They look good, but they're not necessary, and nor is the journey. 70% of the Madagascan population exist on less than $1 a day. So if there were a 7-foot golden cross studded with rubies buried somewhere, I'm fairly confident someone would have found it by now. Oh, and another thing, buried treasure. In all of human history, not a single ounce of buried treasure has ever been found. Ever. As I complained about our mission, the road did suddenly get rougher. Yeah, that's a pothole. That is definitely a pothole. That's another. Oh. Okay.
In the Ford tank. I thought my mods would shine in this new rough terrain. Sadly, however... Slight hitch here. I put my car on tracks, but what I'm having trouble with is the little wheels inside the tracks that keep, well, they're coming off because we're driving on a hard road and these hard edges of the potholes smash them off. The simple fact is these tracks, brilliant as they are made for use on mud and snow, off-road, not tarmac.
Ammo, you've lost another one.
Oh, God.